Outbound transmission?
Affirmative. 5 days. President Trump says he will not fund SNAP until the government reopens. At the same time, Governor Bill Lee is putting millions of dollars towards food banks in Tennessee. This comes just one day after the Trump administration announced they would partially fund SNAP benefits for November. There were rulings from 2 judges that the government must keep the nation's largest food aid program up and running.
The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money because the Democrats have forced the administration into a very untenable position. We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war. And the president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future. And that's what he was referring to in his Truth Social post. So the Department of Agriculture, as for the latest SNAP payment in the judge's order, put out guidance to states today on how to get that money to the recipients of SNAP, but it's going to take some time. The best way to get the full amount of SNAP benefits to those beneficiaries is for Democrats to reopen the government.
Well, here in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee is putting $5 million towards Tennessee food banks. He said grants will be allocated based on SNAP populations in each region. And since hundreds of thousands of Tennesseans do not know when they'll get SNAP food benefits once again, they're scrambling to put food on their table. In Donaldson, a church food pantry opened early this morning to help fill that need. News 2's Alexia Tropoulos spoke with many as they walked through the Help Center doors this morning. Alexia, they say the need goes beyond food at this time.
Kendall, that's right. They've seen the need for both food and clothes. I spoke to many this morning who are receiving help, but then trying to find a way to help in return, whether it's through donations or gifting quilts.
What is different this year that you've noticed?
There's more people coming, and there's more people needing like clothes, food.
Christina Delgado used to walk through the Donaldson Church of Christ Help Center doors to get food and clothes. That's how she says she was able to get on her feet. Now she serves the community, and she's not the only one.
Everybody's talking about their SNAP benefits and what they're going to do to put their food on their table.
Rachel and Laura are part of the Women of Worth Recovery Home in Donaldson.
It's a program that helps women who are incarcerated come back into the community. And what we do here is Laura and I, we come every Tuesday morning and every Wednesday, and we give back to the community, and we also get from the community.
They understand the need not only for food, but for clothing and blankets.
I met a family that came in here and they had to leave from another state, and they had to leave everything behind, and they came here and they got food and they got clothes for their children and pots and pans.
While some church volunteers see the people there serving, these ladies are behind the scenes, working to turn fabric scraps into quilts.
A quilt not only brings warmth, but it brings the love that you have for this person. Very blessed to be able to give the quilts to a person in need.
If you're unable to make it to the Donaldson Church of Christ Help Center on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings, they are always a phone call away. They also free dinner to anyone on Wednesday nights starting at 5:30. This is just one of the resources available in our community. For a full list of where you can turn, visit our website, WKRN.com. Kendall.
Well, some delivery companies are helping those losing SNAP benefits during the government shutdown. Instacart is offering 50% off active SNAP customers' next grocery order, up to a $50 discount. If you are an Instacart customer, check your email to redeem your discount. And DoorDash says it's waiving delivery and service fees for an estimated 300,000 grocery orders for SNAP recipients at several locations like Sprouts and Dollar General. DoorDash also plans to deliver 1 million meals from food banks for free. And during the government shutdown, we've done several stories on how people across our region are stepping up to help people who are hungry and in need. Again, you can find all of our stories by going to our website at WKRN.com. Well, happening now, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is issuing a silver alert for a missing Marshall County man. They say 62-year-old Anthony Hall was last seen on October 11th in Cornersville. We're told he has a medical condition that may impair his ability to return safely without assistance. If you see him, reach out to the Marshall County Sheriff's Office or call 1-800-TBI-FIND. In tracking crime, Franklin police helped Metro officers catch one of the men wanted for a shooting that killed 2 teens in Hermitage. The shooting happened back in March of 2024. at the Hermitage Flats Apartments. Xavier Ellison was stopped on I-65 last night. After initially giving officers a fake name, police were able to identify him and confirm his active warrants. While Arthur Robinson Ross was previously arrested on unrelated charges. He will be returned to Nashville soon to be booked on his double murder indictment. Ellison was returned to Nashville last night and booked on 2 counts of first-degree murder and being a felon in possession of a weapon. Well, former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. Cheney's family says he died following complications from cardiac disease and pneumonia. Trevor Shirley is in Washington with more.
Not only did Dick Cheney serve as vice president to former President George W. Bush, he was also a central figure in Republican administrations going back to President Gerald Ford. In a statement, the former vice president's family said he died Monday night, surrounded by loved ones. Dick Cheney served as vice president during the 9/11 attacks and was a key figure in orchestrating the U.S. invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq. He's widely considered to be one of the most influential vice presidents ever. This morning, former President George W. Bush calling Cheney in a statement, quote, a decent, honorable man who was, quote, among the finest public servants of his generation. Before being elected to the vice presidency, Cheney served as chief of staff to President Gerald Ford. He was also a member of Congress representing Wyoming from 1979 to 1989. Cheney then served as defense secretary under President George Bush, overseeing the military response to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait during the first Gulf War.
Scripture is very clear. We give honor where honor is due, and someone who gave their life, loved their country, loved serving their country in so many capacities.
Despite his illustrious career in public service, Cheney is also viewed as a controversial figure. His support for the Iraq War never faltered, even as it became clear Iraq had no weapons of mass destruction, which the White House used as the reason to invade that country in 2003. He was a major proponent of controversial domestic surveillance techniques after 9/11, as well as efforts that some described as torture to gain information from suspected terrorists during the global war on terror. Cheney was also slow to disclose information when he accidentally shot a friend during a hunting trip in 2006. That friend ultimately survived. But before the 2024 election, Cheney surprised many when he endorsed and voted for Vice President Kamala Harris, saying, quote, there has never been an individual who was a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. For years, Cheney battled numerous health problems, including 5 heart attacks, and received a heart transplant in 2012. At his death, he was 84 years old. So far, funeral plans haven't been announced, although it is expected some part of that will happen here in Washington. Reporting from Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.
And reaction is pouring in this afternoon. Republican Senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn, says she is, quote, saddened to learn of the passing of former Vice President Cheney. Chuck and I are praying for Lynn and their family. Coming up in our next half hour, our Washington, D.C. Bureau looks at how Washington is remembering the former vice president. And tracking the economy, we are watching Wall Street. The markets closed just a few minutes ago. U.S. stocks, they tumbled today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, which includes fewer tech stocks, dipped by about 0.5%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite led losses, sliding over 2%, and the benchmark S&P 500 lost about 1.2%. All right, check this out. Time-lapse satellite imagery captured Hurricane Melissa's historic journey over the Caribbean Sea and North Atlantic Ocean late last month. Melissa swept through large parts of Jamaica after making landfall on October 28th, with the country's death toll rising to 32 on November 3rd. The storm also killed an additional 43 people in Haiti. Well, back here at home, the sunshine is helping us with the cooler temperatures. You're taking a live look over Murfreesboro this afternoon, not a cloud in the sky. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy for the very latest. Hey, Danielle.
Hey, and we've got lots of sunshine out there across Murray County. This is our Murray Regional Health Camera in Columbia right now. I was down there earlier, actually, at Spring Hill Middle School, seeing the kids there. We'll talk more about that at 5 o'clock. But 72 degrees right now, just some high, thin clouds, pretty fall foliage, too, ongoing back there. Now, I want to show you what's going on temperature-wise, because we are warmer today. We've hit 70 in Smyrna, 70 in Bellevue, 70 in Hendersonville, and also 70 right now in Springfield. One of the reasons why we talked about this yesterday, those winds are going to start to shift to the south-southwest, and they are out of the south-southwest at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, gusting right now. As you look at satellite and radar, just a few high, thin clouds out there. There is a system to our north. It's going to stay that way, but high pressure is to our south and east. Winds around to go clockwise, so we got that southerly breeze keeping us dry and quiet for tonight. Our sunset time tonight is coming at 4:47. I am just the messenger on this. By Thanksgiving, it's at 4:33, and then Christmas Day, it starts to get a little bit later at 4:40. Now for tonight, we are going to dip, but not as cold as previous nights. We'll be in the upper 40s around Nashville, low 50s around Clarksville with cool and clear skies out there, 50 in Cookeville and 51 also in Murfreesboro. But here's the thing. We are talking about warm temperatures as we head into your Wednesday. 74 is what we're forecasting. 82 is the record high set back in 2017. So we're not breaking any records here, but we should be around 65 degrees this time of year. So we're running about 10 degrees above average. And then the big story will be rain and storms now moving in towards the end of the week. We'll talk more about that timeline coming up, Kendall.
All right, Danielle, see you then. Well, some backups are possible in downtown Nashville today and tomorrow. TDOT warns there will be rolling roadblocks for blasting. The first happened this morning at 10 o'clock and then another at 2. Well, the blocks are along Rosa Parks Boulevard near Germantown. TDOT says blasting intervals will last around 5 minutes each. All right, now let's check in on traffic. Sophia, how's it looking outside right now?
Hey there, Kendall. Let's check on our traffic this Tuesday afternoon. Well, speaking of Rosa Parks Avenue, this is I-65 at Rosa Parks Avenue, and you're seeing a little bit of backups here on our northbound side. Also, this just popped up here on the TDOT camera. This is a stalled vehicle there on the right-hand side of the roadway. So, you know, this is an area that sees a lot of backup during rush hour. But yes, keep that in mind. Like Kendall was telling you guys, those blasts are happening at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So just something to be aware of this week as you are driving along that roadway. So here's a look at I-24 west of Ellington Parkway. Both sides of the road, the westbound and eastbound side, seeing a little bit of congestion there, but smooth sailing on I-40 at 46th Avenue. This is in West Nashville. Let's get you home safely on this Tuesday afternoon. Take a look at our drive times. From Nashville to Dixon, 45 minutes, to Lebanon, 31 minutes, to Smyrna, 12 minutes, and to Franklin, 29 minutes. And don't forget, you can get instant updates and alerts with the free WKRN weather and traffic app. Back to you, Kendall.
All right, Sophia, thank you. The Department of Safety and Homeland Security officials are hoping to add more troopers here in Tennessee. How much funding they need to make that a reality. Plus, cracking down on unsafe scooter drivers in Nashville. We learn about a pilot program coming to Music City and how it tracks riders. That's next on News 3.
Introducing Purple, the only mattress with the GelFlex grid, designed to relieve pressure and reduce pain, so you can end and start your day feeling refreshed. From quiet mornings to meaningful moments together. Because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Shop Purple's Black Friday sale and save up to $800 on a mattress and base. Purple. Less pain, better sleep.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Ooh, pretty colors.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Your first look at the afternoon's top stories with Kendall Ashman and Danielle Breezy's Storm Tracker forecast. This is News 2 live at 3.
A scooter company is testing new technology to crack down on unsafe riding here in Nashville. That includes speeding down sidewalks and having two riders on a scooter. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry explains how exactly it works. Caitlin.
This is a pilot program from a scooter company called Spin. Nashville's the first city to try it. When anyone hops on a Spin e-bike or e-scooter, Spin's app tracks riding behavior in real time. It rates each ride using a 5-star system, looking at how often riders ride on the sidewalks, double ride, enter no-ride zones, wear helmets, brake hard, ride recklessly, or break parking rules. If a rider drops below 4 stars, they can get in-app warnings, fines, and suspensions, risking their account getting removed. The system also compares tourists to local riders.
Once we get some of that data on different interventions of warnings, and I think we'll put some disincentives in there as well as we move forward with the pilot, that'll be our approach. And then there are two ways, as we move forward, if someone has an extremely low score on a singular ride, let's say they get 1 star, right? They've broken the rules on everything. We can either impose, a warning or remove that person from the service, suspend their account temporarily.
A representative with Spin says it will collect data for about 3 months and possibly extend that through another season to see how behavior changes over time. Kendall, back to you.
An accurate and reliable forecast. Here's News 2 Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy.
Danielle, I was saying I love your bright pink dress. It really reflects my mood right now because the weather is fabulous.
Nice.
Yes.
It's sunny.
It's a perfect fall day.
It is,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful outside. I had to get outside and do a run because I needed to see the vitamin D and feel the sunshine.
Absolutely.
Because that sunset time is
I
still
know.
coming early tonight.
The only bummer is it gets so dark.
I know, during the 4 o'clock hour, we're seeing the sunset. It's a little wild.
It's very sad. It's very sad.
It is.
But at least the weather's great.
The weather's great.
For now.
And tomorrow's going to be even better because we're going into the mid-70s. The warm-up is on the way. Now, rain and storms are returning, too, as we head into Friday. Not just rain now. Storms are going to be likely. Doesn't look like severe storms as of right this second, but that could all change, so stay tuned. And let me tell you something. Next week, a big cold blast is coming our way. And wow, it's going to feel more like winter time come next Monday. So just get prepared now. This is our Bart Durham Injury Law camera right now in downtown Nashville. Tons of sunshine out that way. 70 degrees right now, just a few high, thin clouds outside, but most of us are dry and warmer than this time yesterday. 70 in Shelbyville, 72 now in Columbia, 71 in Camden, Linden, still at 69 in Paris, but 70 in Lebanon. Now the winds are out of the south at about 15 to 16 miles an hour gusting, so they're really around 5 to 10 miles an hour sustained. But those winds will back down tonight, and that will allow the temperatures to drop off. Because notice we don't have a lot of clouds out there, tack like a blanket and trap in the warmer air. High pressure is to our south and east. The winds are anti-clockwise, so we've got that southerly breeze. We've got a system to our north, but it's going to stay to our north, which means we're in for a dry couple of days. For tonight, we'll drop down to the 50s and even upper 40s. We're going for 49 in Nashville, 50 in Clarksville, 51 in Murfreesboro, 49 in Shelbyville. It's going to be cool. There'll be a clear sky out there. And then during the day tomorrow, we will get up to 68 by lunch, and then into the mid-70s we go by afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Now, we're going to be not breaking any records tomorrow, but not that far away. 82 is the record high set back in 2017. 74 is what we're forecasting, and 65 is where we should be. Also want to reiterate, we got our supermoon happening. It peaks on Wednesday. It's also known as the beaver moon. Now, it sets at 6:22 in the morning, so you won't see it when it's technically full at 7:19 Wednesday morning, but it rises back up at 4:40 in the afternoon, so look for it. It is the largest and brightest supermoon of 2025. And send your pictures to pics at WKRN.com or me, Danielle Breezy TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our temperatures will be warm this week, not only Wednesday, but also Thursday, Friday, right into Saturday, as we will be well above average. And then that rain rolls in here on Friday, mainly after lunchtime, continuing well into the night, and even Saturday, maybe early in the morning. And then there might be even some showers Saturday night now from a secondary front that will bring in real cold air for Sunday and Monday. Here is the timing on the rain and storms on Friday. By noon, they're rolling in here, becoming more widespread by about dinner time here. And then they push out pretty quickly. So by about midnight, most of the activity is east and south of our area, and then we'll clear out. And we'll still be pretty warm on Saturday, but then that secondary front will move in, turning things colder. We do need rain in spots. We still are abnormally dry around Nashville and Gallatin. We've got a moderate drought ongoing in Wayne County. For the weekend, though, it's kind of split in two, as Davis Nolan would say. 72 on Saturday, a night shower possible, and then cold and blustery on Sunday in the mid-50s for highs with partly sunny skies. All right, let's talk about the Weather Authority 7-day forecast, because we are going to talk about the warm air this week and then the big cool down that follows. So it's still mild on Thursday, storms and breezy on Friday, a night shower possible Saturday that turns us colder and blustery for Sunday. But here's the thing. Monday, we start at 32 degrees, only warming in the 40s. And look at Tuesday, a hard freeze for everybody with temperatures in the 20s to begin. Over to you.
All right, Danielle, thanks so much. Well, there's a new Sexiest Man Alive. People magazine giving the spot to Wicked star Jonathan Bailey, making him the first openly gay man to hold the title. Well, Bailey captured hearts in Netflix period drama Bridgerton, Jurassic World Rebirth, and playing the role as Fiyero in the movie Wicked. Well, Bailey now joins a long list of Sexiest Man Alive alum, including John Krasinski, Patrick Dempsey, and Chris Evans. So to come, living up to the volunteer name, how Nashville Electric Service is stepping up to help customers who may need extra time to pay their bills. Plus, a group of local mothers is supporting new parents across the city. What you need to know about their supplies giveaway event. That's next.
Hey, that's my burrito. Hey.
You're not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
That's my burrito.
Purple, less pain, better sleep.
Behind every breaking news headline, there are lives affected. Help urgently needed. News 2 is there, first to report and keep you informed every step of the way. News 2, Middle Tennessee's breaking news leader.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop the
normalizing.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savebythescan.org.
As the government shutdown rolls on, budgets are stretching thinner and thinner for families. That's why a local mothers group is hosting an event for parents to get what they need for their baby. News 2 Sophia Radebaugh has details in this afternoon's neighborhood news from East Nashville. Sophia.
Hey there, Kendall. Well, this Saturday, you can stop by the East Park Community Center and grab items like diapers, clothes, and toys for your baby, and that's free of charge. Now, the group MAVE, short for Motherhood Alliance Equity Village Empowerment, is putting on this event this weekend. MAVE is a nonprofit that exists to support mothers all across Nashville. Now, there are 4 chapters in the Nashville area. The group is hoping this giveaway on Saturday relieves some of the financial burden families face when needing to buy things for their newborn. Organizers say they'll also have items for toddlers and things for postpartum care as well. Now, for more information about the event, we have an article up on our website you can check out. That's WKRN.com. Back to you, Kendall.
All right, Sophia, thank you. And we want to know what's happening in your neighborhood. Email your neighborhood stories to neighborhoodnews@WKRN.com. We just might feature your story right here on News 2 at 3. To more local news, this weekend, the Nashville Zoo is celebrating active and retired military members for Military Appreciation Day. Starting at 9 a.m. on Sunday, active military veterans and their immediate family members can enjoy free admission during regular daytime hours. All you need to do is show your military ID, veteran organization ID, discharge papers, or other official military identification at the counter. Well, News Red 3 continues next to Tori Gessner. We are tracking the housing market in Middle Tennessee. Ahead, we hear from experts about the trends in East Nashville.
Introducing Purple, the only mattress with the GelFlex grid, designed to relieve pressure and reduce pain, so you can end and start your day feeling refreshed. From quiet mornings to meaningful moments together. Because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Shop Purple's Black Friday sale and save up to $800 on a mattress and base. Purple. Less pain, better sleep.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
Behind every breaking news headline, there are lives affected. Help urgently needed. News 2 is there, first to report and keep you informed every step of the way. News 2, Middle Tennessee's breaking news leader.
News Nation and Decision Desk HQ out in front.
Accurate election results, faster than the other networks.
News Nation once again has called it first.
The difference is DDHQ. Coverage begins tonight at 7/6 Central on News Nation.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop the
normalization.
bullying.
Well, I completely disagree. Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next. We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Live, up-to-the-minute coverage. This is News 2 at 3.
State leaders want to recruit more troopers to Tennessee. Find out how much they're asking for to raise the starting salary. Plus, living up to the volunteer name, how Nashville Electric Service is stepping up to help customers who may need extra time to pay their bills. And flags are flying at half-staff today in honor of Dick Cheney. Hear how D.C. is reacting to the death of the former vice president. Welcome back to News 2 at 3. I'm Tori Gessner. Tennessee Highway Patrol wants to raise trooper pay and add more positions. As News 2's Nikki McGee reports, THP is trying to keep up with other law enforcement agencies. Nikki.
Well, today, Department of Safety and Homeland Security officials asked the governor for more money with the hopes of adding roughly 160 more troopers. THP leaders say their troopers are not only taking more calls, but they've also brought down the number of fatal crashes in our state. Now, the department is asking for roughly $19,700,000 to increase starting pay for troopers. That's been to put Tennessee ahead of starting pay in Missouri, Arkansas, and Kentucky. In addition, THP officials requested more than $3 million. That would go towards step raises for current troopers. Here's what department leaders had to say about their current call logs.
Just, calls for service 2019 at the beginning of your administration, 441,000. We had 961,000 calls for service last year. And that's everything that comes into a dispatch center. The ability to send troopers anywhere and everywhere at any time. We are at a place we've never been. And so, a few more positions is going to get us that much closer to the perfect spot.
Now, THP currently has a little over 1,340 troopers, and the goal is to get that number up to 1,500. The department requested roughly $27 million to go toward hiring more THP support staff. Tori.
Thanks, Nikki. The government shutdown stretches into day 35, and its impacts to SNAP funding are just being felt in the grocery store. Nonprofits, businesses, and neighbors across the mid-state have stepped up to help provide food assistance to the roughly 1 in 10 Tennesseans who rely on SNAP each month. Nashville Electric Service is also giving customers who need it extra time to pay their bills. They tell us in a statement, quote, with the federal shutdown impacting SNAP benefits, NES customers can have their bill payment extended for 30 days. Customers can call 615-736-6900 to speak to an NES advisor about payment options. Tracking crime now, we're learning new information about 2 armed robbery suspects now in custody. According to Metro Police, Jermaine Southern is accused of robbing 2 Citgo employees at gunpoint on Halloween night. He and his girlfriend, Jasmine McKissack, got away in a black Chevy Monte Carlo. Then Saturday morning, officers were called to Lafayette Street for a shooting. A security guard there told police they exchanged fire with Southern. Southern was found shot near his girlfriend's apartment. He was rushed to the hospital, and that's where he told detectives several different versions of how he was shot. Now, Southern and McKissack are facing a long list of charges, including aggravated robbery. Police in Lebanon are searching for multiple suspects after a home burglary. This happened around 7:45 Saturday night near Chesapeake Court in the Five Oaks neighborhood. This home security video shows the suspects going inside the home. You see one searching this room with a flashlight. Another suspect appears to be around the corner. If you recognize these people, you're asked to call Lebanon police. Covering West Tennessee, an appeals court ruling blocks black farmers' access to billions of dollars allocated under the Inflation Reduction Act. Today, hundreds of those farmers packed a Memphis church as they appeal that ruling. Last summer, the USDA paid over $2 billion to black farmers who faced discrimination from the agency in the past. The president of the Black Farmers and Agriculturists Association said that wasn't enough money and should have included heirs, so BFFA sued the government. In January, an attorney pleaded their case to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. In October, the court ruled in the USDA's favor.
We're arguing, April, that it could not only impact the heirs of black farmers, but if this becomes a precedent, Will now another agency tell a black person in Los Angeles or a black person in New York or in Memphis that, wait, you know what? You are here trying to get your grandmother's house or your grandmother's bank account who left some money for you as an heir, but because of this ruling now, you may not be able to get that house. You may not be able. This is potentially devastating.
If an appeals court decides to reverse the ruling, the families say it could help them continue a legacy and build generational wealth. A community is remembering retired Nolensville police officer Nick Wolkonski. Former police chief Roddy Parker says Nick died suddenly on Monday. From 2018 to 2023, he worked for free as a reserve officer for police agencies from Livingston to Millersville and most recently Nolensville. Roddy says Officer Wolkonski served Nolensville well, doing whatever was asked of him, but also always going above and beyond. Lawmakers in Washington are reacting to the death of former Vice President Dick Cheney. He died Monday night at 84 years old. Washington correspondent Basil John reports on what Republicans and Democrats are saying about his death. Basil.
Well, Tori, Republicans have spent today giving high praise to former Vice President Dick Cheney, who is considered one of the most powerful people to hold that office in history.
Not only did Dick Cheney serve as vice president to former President George W. Bush, he was also a central figure in Republican administrations going back to President Gerald Ford. In a statement, the former vice president's family said he died Monday night, surrounded by loved ones. Dick Cheney served as vice president during the 9/11 attacks and was a key figure in orchestrating the U.S. invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq. He's widely considered to be one of the most influential vice presidents ever. This morning, former President George W. Bush calling Cheney in a statement, quote, a decent, honorable man who was, quote, among the finest public servants of his generation. Before being elected to the vice presidency, Cheney served as chief of staff to President Gerald Ford. He was also a member of Congress representing Wyoming from 1979 to 1989. Cheney then served as defense secretary under President George Bush, overseeing the military response to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait during the first Gulf War.
Scripture is very clear. We give honor where honor is due, and someone who gave their life, loved their country, loved serving their country in so many capacities.
Despite his illustrious career in public service, Cheney is also viewed as a controversial figure. His support for the Iraq War never faltered, even as it became clear Iraq had no weapons of mass destruction, which the White House used as the reason to invade that country in 2003. He was a major proponent of controversial domestic surveillance techniques after 9/11, as well as efforts that some described as torture to gain information from suspected terrorists during the global war on terror. Cheney was also slow to disclose information when he accidentally shot a friend during a hunting trip in 2006. That friend ultimately survived. But before the 2024 election, Cheney surprised many when he endorsed and voted for Vice President Kamala Harris, saying, quote, there has never been an individual who was a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. For years, Cheney battled numerous health problems, including 5 heart attacks, and received a heart transplant in 2012. At his death, he was 84 years old.
Now, funeral arrangements have yet to be announced for the former vice president, including whether he will lie in state here at the Capitol. Reporting live in Washington, I'm Basil John.
Basil, who was the last vice president to lay in state at the Capitol?
Well, the last vice president who had the opportunity to lie in state in the Capitol, but also did not become president later on, was former Vice President Hubert Humphrey. He was accorded that honor in 1978.
All right, Basil John in D.C., thanks so much. Turning to weather now, the sunshine is helping us with those cooler temperatures. Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy here with a closer look at the forecast. Beautiful blue skies there.
Yes, it is beautiful blue skies, as you can see here over Lebanon. I want to show you what's going on. Currently, this is our Wilson Bank and Trust camera. And you can see it, Tori, 70 degrees. We got some fall foliage ongoing, too. Look at the colors of the leaves there. The oranges, the browns, the golds. Very nice to see. Temperatures right now are in the 70s, 72 in Antioch, 70 in Gallatin, 70 Mount Juliet, and 70 in Brentwood. We've got winds that have turned to the south, and they're gusting up to about 15 miles an hour today. Just a few high, thin clouds on satellite and radar. Most of us, though, are dry and good to go. The reason for that is high pressure is in control of our weather. It is down to our south and east. Winds around it go clockwise. And so we've got these southerly breezes kind of pumping on in during the day today. Now, our sunset time tonight is coming at 4:47. On Thanksgiving, it's 4:33. And then by Christmas Day, it is at 4:40 in the afternoon. For tonight, we're going to drop down in the low 50s and even upper 40s in some spots. And as we head into the day tomorrow, we are talking about very warm temperatures. In fact, we could see 74 for a high. And 82 is actually that record set back in 2017. 65 is where we should be this time of year. And then the big story will be rain chances moving on in, as you can see, Friday and Saturday. So we'll talk more about the timing and how much to expect where you live. Coming up, Tori.
See you then. Thanks, Danielle. A heads up for folks in downtown Clarksville. The Montgomery County government will close 2nd Street between Commerce and Franklin Streets starting at 6:30 a.m. on Friday. This is so they can replace the roof on the Montgomery County Historic Courthouse. A crane will block this stretch, and the parking meters will be bagged to keep cars from parking there overnight and blocking the closure. They expect to reopen the roadway to all traffic by 5 p.m. that same day. Sophia Radeball joining us now. How are the roads looking right now, Sophia?
Hey there, Tori. Well, that's some great information for folks in Clarksville to keep in mind. But here in Nashville, we've had a few situations pop up here on our TDOT cameras. Luckily, nothing that has caused a lot of congestion, but just a few disabled vehicles that you can see here. There's one on I-24 at Haywood Lane. Now, I just saw a TDOT truck actually leave this situation, and so nothing is causing congestion at this point. But, of course, we want that car off of the roadway just for safety precaution. But yeah, again, traffic is flowing smoothly there on I-24. Let's take a look at our next TDOT camera. This is in Brentwood. Things are flowing nicely there too, so that is good news because this is an area that gets pretty congested during rush hour for us. All right, let's take a look at those drive times. Get you home safely on this Tuesday afternoon. Nashville to Dixon, 48 minutes. To Lebanon, 40 minutes. To Smyrna, 13 minutes. And to Franklin this afternoon, 36 minutes. Don't forget, you can get instant updates and alerts with the free WKRN weather and traffic app. Back to you, Tori.
Thanks, Sophia. This week, the Supreme Court will hear arguments to determine if President Trump's tariffs are legal. Coming up, we break down his administration's tariff revenue by month. Plus, we're tracking the housing market in Middle Tennessee. We hear from experts about the trends in East Nashville. That's next.
And you're looking right now at our Tennessee flight training camera as we look at the airport right now. Beautiful clear skies, temperatures in the 70s, so we are all good at the Nashville airport. However, if you're heading to Boston, you're a little delayed because there is a system up that way. Temperatures are in the 50s. And one place I'd like to go is where it's in the upper 70s, maybe Miami. Just saying. All right, we'll be back after this.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
You really need to get it.
Get the day's top headlines, breaking news, and weather forecast straight to your inbox. Go to WKRN.com and sign up for the free News 2 newsletter today.
Ooh, pretty colors.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
To our neighborhood impact, we're getting a check on the housing market in East Nashville, and right now it is competitive with homes selling quickly. RE/MAX broker Anna Altick and realtor Missy Davidson joining me now. Thanks so much for being here.
Of course, thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Yes.
So walk me through what the housing market is looking like specifically in East Nashville.
So East Nashville continues to be a strong market in terms of things are selling at about 98% of list price. They're staying on the market about 60 days, which is kind of the national average at this point. It might even be a little less than the national average. And we are also seeing in terms of activity, like there's just a lot of new investment coming into Nashville that we're very excited to see that we think are going to continue to really drive the market in East Nashville.
Yeah, and I can imagine impacting property values. Talk about that a little bit.
So it's an interesting time right now because Oracle, their zoning has just been approved by City Council, so they're going to be starting to move towards that place of being able to start thinking about breaking ground. That's going to bring thousands of high-paying jobs into the area. We also have the transit referendum that passed, and so looking at that Dickerson Pike, Gallatin Pike corridor is going to really bring a lot more development along those corridors. And then in addition, you've got, of course, the stadium, and that's going to be a new attraction, and then all of the East Bank. So there's so much kind of coming into the river part, which is the part of Nashville we've never really embraced on this side of it. That's just going to bring so much change.
Yeah, lots of value in that development there. Would you say it's a buyer's market, a seller's market, or kind of a mix?
I would say right now it's starting to be a buyer's market, but if the home is priced right, then the way that it's a buyer's market now versus 2020 is just that the seller will pay closing costs and they'll do some concessions. But it's definitely not a market in that anybody's losing value.
Gotcha. And you have a special listing you wanted to show us, right?
Right. We have a listing there in a building that's a full Airbnb. It's Jolene, and there's about 20 properties there that it's dedicated to Airbnbs, and it's within walking distance to the Titans and on the Dickerson Pike Main Street area. So very convenient to the restaurants and entertainment, and more to come with all the building coming up.
Yeah, so along the corridors, we do have quite a bit of short-term rental inventory that's been designed to be short-term rentals, and it is going to have access, or these will have access once these buildings start to come to fruition, and they will be walkable. So it's kind of a exciting opportunity to get in on the front side of that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Exciting times. Well, thank you so much
Yes.
for joining us. To watch this interview again, you can look up this segment on our website under the Watch tab. Just click on latest video and look for
An accurate and reliable forecast. Here's News 2 Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy.
Well, we've got a big warm-up on the way as we head into Wednesday and really Thursday and Friday. Temperatures soar into the low to mid 70s. Now, rain and storms are returning on Friday. And yes, I say storms now. It doesn't look like a severe weather outbreak right now, but that could all change, so stay tuned. And then we got a strong cold front that follows Saturday into Sunday. That will bring down a big cold blast for early next week. It's going to feel more like wintertime come next Monday. Right now, it's a beautiful day, though, for this Tuesday. If you've stepped outside, we're at 70 in Hopkinsville as well as Clarksville, 70 in Nashville, 70 also in McMinnville and Winchester. So warm in a lot of spots. Winds are out of the south today, gusting to about 15 miles an hour. And the reason for this is we've got a dome of high pressure over our area. For tonight, we won't get as cold. We'll be in the upper 40s and low 50s. So we'll start the day off in the low 50s for Nashville, and then partly to mostly sunny skies during the day. 68 by lunchtime and then 74 by afternoon. It's a beautiful Wednesday on tap. The other thing that's happening on Wednesday is we do have the supermoon. Now, it technically is full at 7:19 in the morning on Wednesday, but it will set at 6:22. So you're going to have to watch it rise again at 4:40 on Wednesday afternoon. It is the largest and brightest supermoon of 2025. It's also known as a full beaver moon. So just a heads up. And you can send your pics to pics at WKRN.com. Something cool to see for sure in the sky. Temperatures will be in the 70s not only Wednesday, but also Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Just to reiterate, we should be around 65 degrees this time of year. So we're running well above where we should be. And then those rain chances are coming back in the forecast as we head into Friday especially, and they may linger into early Saturday. Now also there could be some more showers potentially now Saturday night from that cold front. That'll bring down that big blast of cold air just in time for early next week. But the timing on the rain for Friday looks like this. Notice the time skip about 12:30. We've got showers moving into Nashville, Clarksville, Dixon, and Hopkinsville, and they become more numerous by afternoon. So by about 5, 6 o'clock at night, we've got storms around us. And then they're quick moving, so it is a cool front. By about midnight, they're east on the higher elevations and down far south, and then they're on out of here. And we start off Saturday with some clouds to begin. Then we'll see partly to mostly sunny skies, I think. Now, we'll tell you we've got some college games to get to. MTSU is at home at 2 p.m. on Saturday, 70 at kickoff, 60 by the end of that game, partly sunny skies. Vandy's at home, taking on Auburn at 3 p.m., 70 at kickoff, 59 by the end of that game. And then finally, Austin Peay's at home at 3 o'clock, 68 at kickoff, 56 by the end of the game, partly sunny skies. And then the weekend forecast. Well, it's going to be nice on Saturday in the low 70s, but 50s, colder and blustery on Sunday. You think that's bad? Get ready. Next Monday, we are forecasting 28 degrees when you wake up in the morning. 24 is that record set back in 1957. Should be around 41 degrees. So not that far away from record lows. So from record highs potentially tomorrow to record lows, big temperature swings are coming this week. And that's what it says in the Weather Authority 7-day forecast. You can thank the storms and breezy conditions Friday, and then another round maybe Saturday night. Colder and blusterier for Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday are going to be very cold weather-wise. Over to you.
Thanks, Danielle. The Supreme Court is set to determine the fate of the Trump administration's tariffs. We hear arguments for both sides of the debate and who's expected to attend this week's hearing. That's next.
Introducing Purple, the only mattress with the GelFlex grid, designed to relieve pressure and reduce pain, so you can end and start your day feeling refreshed. From quiet mornings to meaningful moments together. Because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Shop Purple's Black Friday sale and save up to $800 on a mattress and base. Purple. Less pain, better sleep.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop a
normalization.
bullet.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
News Nation and Decision Desk HQ out in front.
Accurate election results faster than the other networks.
News Nation once again has called it first.
The difference is DDHQ. Coverage begins tonight at 7/6 Central on News Nation.
News 2 Live at 3 continues with Tori Gessner and Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy with your Storm Tracker forecast.
A showdown at the Supreme Court could decide the fate of President Trump's tariffs. In today's Political Minute, News Nation's Mike Vaquera breaks down the case.
Tariffs get their day in court. I'm Mike Vaquera, News Nation Washington Bureau Chief. The Supreme Court will hear arguments on Wednesday to determine if President Trump's tariffs are legal. The tariffs are a key part of the president's economic policy. Specifically, the justices will decide whether or not the president's use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to implement his tariffs is constitutional. Lower courts have said President Trump doesn't have power under the act to set tariffs, but left them in place pending the High Court's decision. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent will be in attendance, but President Trump ruled out showing up over concerns he would have been a distraction, while also saying that his tariffs are a matter of national security. Since February, the U.S. has collected almost $180 billion worth of tariff revenue. About half of that has been brought in over the past 3 months. I'm Mike Vaquera, and this is the News Nation Political Minute.
You can find more news and analysis from Mike and his colleagues 24/7 on News Nation. To find News Nation on your screen, go to joinnn.com. Three-time Academy Award nominee Diane Ladd has died. She was known for her roles in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore and Wild at Heart. Her daughter, Laura Dern, announced Ladd's death on Monday, saying she passed away at her home in California with Dern by her side. Dern described her mother as an amazing hero and profound gift. She was 89 years old. So to come on News 2 at 4, a little girl reunited with her mother. Hear how the police were able to rescue the child from an ex-con and the charges he's facing now in Middle Tennessee. Plus, feeling uncertainty around SNAP benefits, how one local food pantry is dealing with the unclear messaging on food stamps coming from D.C. And lowering requirements for teachers in Tennessee, the change that could impact who educates your child in the future.
Introducing Purple, the only mattress with the GelFlex Grid, designed to relieve pressure and reduce pain, so you can end and start your day feeling refreshed. From quiet mornings to meaningful moments together, because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Shop Purple's Black Friday sale and save up to $800 on a mattress and base. Purple, less pain, better sleep.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
The bravest person I know is my daughter, Cynthia.
My friend Sean, and he was in the Air Force.
One of the bravest things he ever did wasn't when he first enlisted, it was when he found his first support group.
It was when he asked to move in with me and my mom.
I felt like I was lost, and you gave me a place to stay.
She went on foreign soil. She went to war. But the bravest thing she did is when she asked for help.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. but you can escape. Take the 1-minute pre-diabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Live, up-to-the-minute coverage. This is News 2 at 4.
Despite rulings this week from 2 federal judges saying the Trump administration must use the USDA's contingency funds to pay for SNAP benefits, today President Trump said on social media that won't happen. Welcome to News 2 at 4. I'm Tori Gessner.
And I'm Kendall Ashman. Now, in a post on Truth Social today, the president said in part, quote, SNAP benefits will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up the government, which they can easily do and not before. Now, later in the day, White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt walked back the president's comments, saying the administration will be fully compliant with the judge's orders, but the emergency funding won't fully fund SNAP, and the only way to fully bring back benefits is to end the government shutdown.
Meanwhile, here in Tennessee, a Sumner County food pantry is feeling the uncertainty around food stamps, in part due to the president's comments today. News 2's Sam Clementi spoke with a popular food bank in Portland. You have more, Sam.
Yeah, guys, Hands of Hope Food Pantry in downtown Portland has become a trusted resource for those in the more rural parts of Sumner County. In recent days, their staff tells me that community support has skyrocketed, as has the new faces that are coming in. It's all hands on deck for local food pantries. With food assistance programs on pause, millions of Americans are now searching for alternative ways to eat. In small-town Portland, Hands of Hope Food Pantry is feeling that pressure.
Since the SNAP benefits were cut November 1st, we've had 30 new families come into the pantry. As of right now, we have more new families that are on the way here now, and we're averaging about 80 families total per shopping day.
Open just 2 days a week, the pantry is considering extending their operating hours to make sure people can get what they need. But their supplies are flying off the shelves, unlike they've seen before.
We have not been able to keep back stock because we are keeping the shelves full. Our volunteers are working more than overtime in order to make everything run smoothly. Everybody's feeling the crunch, just like we are.
Thankfully, the Portland community is stepping up. Board President Julie Yant says she's been flooded with messages from people wanting to help their organization. That includes a local church who dropped off a $500 check on Tuesday.
This year we talked about it, business meeting. We just felt like we needed to do something, and we didn't know exactly for Thanksgiving, maybe for the boxes they give out, but with everything going on, I know everybody needs help. These places need help.
Hands of Hope is run by volunteers. They're rolling with the punches, but they admitted they haven't seen a challenge like this since COVID.
We just have to learn how to pivot. We definitely think everything is a learning opportunity. And so although we don't like the things that are going on right now, there are challenges that can be overcome.
And just this morning, Governor Bill Lee announced the state would give $5 million in new funding to local food banks. That's the equivalent of about $7 per person on SNAP in Tennessee. So the Portland Pantry told me that's simply a Band-Aid. It's a drop in the bucket at a time when all food banks are being tested to their limits. And if you'd like to donate to Hands of Hope, you can either visit their Facebook page or their website. We're going to have links to both of those on our website, WKRN.com, later this evening. Ladies.
All right, Sam, thank you. In Davidson County, Metro is directing Nashvillians to nashville.gov/food, which is the city's official online food resource guide for people in need. This includes how students in Metro schools can get food boxes, food pop-ups, and mobile pantries through One Gen Away. There are also food drives across the city where you can donate, and many more resources for people impacted by the federal government shutdown. Today marks day 35 of the government shutdown, tying it with the longest shutdown in American history. Another vote today to possibly end it, but once again, failing to get the 60 votes required by the filibuster rule to push the legislation forward.
This as millions of Americans have missed benefits and paychecks. And as ABC's Melissa Adon reports, the Transportation Secretary is now warning of mass chaos at airports.
The motion is not agreed to.
The U.S. Senate failing for the 14th time to advance a funding bill to reopen the government. The failed vote all but guaranteeing this will become the longest shutdown in U.S. history.
Democrats made the deliberate choice to shut down the government, and only Democrats can put an end to this madness.
There's nothing to be optimistic about relative to the cruelty and the pain that Donald Trump and Republicans continue to inflict on the American people.
More families are turning to food banks as nearly 42 million Americans who rely on federal food assistance are unsure of where their next meal is coming from. Simone Wilkes, a single mom of 2, telling ABC's Jay O'Brien she only has $23 left for food.
I do break down at night. I try not to do it in front of my kids because I am a single mother on a fixed income. So it's like, do I pay the bills or get food?
The Trump administration announcing it will partially fund the SNAP food program after a judge ordered them to do so. But today, in a social media post, the president writing the benefits would not go out until after the government opens. The White House later saying the money will go out, but it will take time.
We're complying with the court's order, and we're getting that partial payment out the door as much as we can and as quickly as we can.
Across the country, air traffic control staffing shortages causing long delays and ground stops for air travelers. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy with a warning today if the government does not reopen by next week.
You will see mass chaos. You will see mass flight delays. You'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers.
When asked specifically what the president is doing to end the shutdown, the White House pointing to his social media post. Trump has made multiple posts calling on Republicans to eliminate the filibuster to end the stalemate. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, during the shutdown, we've done several stories on how people here in Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky are stepping up to help people who are hungry and in need. You can find all of our stories by going to our website. That is WKRN.com.
An ex-con is back behind bars tonight, and the little girl he had in his possession safely back with her mother thanks to quick-acting Cheatham County deputies. Our Andy Cordan has been tracking this operation. He joins us now with a story you'll see only on News 2. Andy.
Hey there, you know, this all went down Sunday night as Cheatham County deputies set up an undercover sting that culminated in the rear of an Ashland City supermarket. This is the moment that Cheatham County deputies converge on John Beal in the rear of this grocery store.
Don't you move. I'm not moving.
The 27-year-old ex-con is quickly arrested.
No, 19, we got one in custody.
And his 3-year-old daughter taken into protective custody.
I love you, Autumn Sky.
Did you feel like he might harm her?
I felt like he would harm her after I was made aware that he had relapsed on drugs.
According to the child's mother, she and Beal have joint custody of their little girl. The mother alleges that Beal didn't return their daughter when he was supposed to. And the little girl's been missing for weeks. Cheatham County deputies swoop in. What was that like?
It was bittersweet. I was terrified for my daughter. This would be now her 7th time watching her dad get arrested. I knew it would be yet another traumatic event for my daughter, but it was also, I was getting my daughter back and I knew that she was safe.
On Sunday, with the help of the child's mother, Cheatham County deputies will track Beal's cell phone all around the county. Then, after hours, they finally track him to this grocery store.
I don't know what's going on, y'all.
According to the Department of Corrections, the ex-con was convicted in 2017 for aggravated burglary. When loaded into the back of the squad car Sunday night,
Hey, pat him down real quick. Search him. I have a knife in my pocket.
He has a knife on his person. But according to Cheatham investigators, Beal is also a suspect in multiple gun thefts in other jurisdictions. And deputies tell me, over the course of this investigation, multiple weapons will ultimately be recovered, including an AR-15.
I just want to say thank you to each and every one of those officers and lieutenants who helped me that night. If it wasn't for you guys, I would have never got her back.
Right now, John Beal is in the Cheatham County Jail. He is charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Now, I'm also told more charges from other places. That's also possible. Back to you guys.
All right, Andy, thanks so much. Well, here is a live look over Lower Broadway this afternoon. You can see the sun is starting to set this afternoon. We can also expect a warm-up later this week, but colder weather, unfortunately, it is coming. Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy is here with your very latest. Hey, Danielle.
Yeah, beautiful Tuesday to be out downtown right now because it's warm. Temperatures are in the upper 60s and low 70s. We've got full sunshine. This is our Walker Chevrolet camera in downtown Franklin right now. Just a few clouds off in the distance, but 67 there. Most of us, though, in the 70s. We're at 70 in Murphy. Murfreesboro, 70 now in Greenbrier, 69 Hermitage, and 68 in Clarksville. We do have winds coming out of the south. They're gusting 10 to 15 miles an hour today, but they will back down tonight, allowing for those temperatures to drop off. Just a few high thin clouds streaming in today. Most of us, though, seeing full sunshine. The reason is got a dome of high pressure to our south and east, winds around it clockwise, and that's why you see those southerly breezes kind of pumping on in. A system is to our north, but it will stay that way, so that will keep us dry. Our sunset time tonight, it's coming at 4:47, but by Thanksgiving it's at 4:33, and then we start to add on time by December 25th for Christmas. We're at 4:40 in the afternoon. For tonight, it won't be as cold as the previous couple of nights. We'll have mainly clear skies, temperatures in the upper 40s, 49 in Shelbyville and Lawrenceburg, and even around 51 Linden, 50 in Lafayette, and 50 in Cookeville. Tomorrow's going to start off, though, again, with sunshine, and then temperatures will start to warm up. By lunchtime, we'll be in the upper 60s with partly to mostly sunny skies, and then by afternoon, we're in the mid-70s. We should be around 65 degrees this time of year. But then rain and storms are returning to the forecast. We'll talk more about the timing hour by hour coming up.
All right, a team traffic alert for us on this Tuesday afternoon. Luckily, there haven't been a ton of accidents that have caused a lot of congestion on our major interstates, but this is the fourth stalled vehicle that I have noticed in our TDOT cameras just this afternoon. So this is on the left-hand side of the I-40 and I-65 South Loop near downtown Nashville. So I haven't seen any TDOT trucks at this scene yet. So hopefully they'll be able to get there soon and get this cleared off the roadways, because we certainly don't like stalled vehicles on the side of the roadway. Let's check out how things are looking in Donaldson. Things are looking really smooth there on Bradley Parkway and Opry Mills Drive. So that is really good news for us on this Tuesday afternoon. Here's I-40 at 46th Avenue. Also things looking good. Let's get you home safely on this Tuesday afternoon. Check out your drive times. To Clarksville, 44 minutes, an hour and 7 to Murfreesboro to Hendersonville, 32, and an hour and 4 minutes if you're headed south on 65 to Spring Hill. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sophia. Tennessee's Speaker of the House is getting creative to try to solve the state's teacher shortage, but not everyone is on board. During his annual State of the State address, Speaker Cameron Sexton suggested letting people with associate's degrees become teachers. But some educators say the move would be a huge step backwards. When it comes to addressing Tennessee's teacher shortage, Speaker of the House Cameron Sexton says it's time to think outside of the box. He warned his idea may sound shocking to some. And he was right.
With all the things he talked about, that was the one that I think is a huge step backwards.
Sexton's idea, do away with the bachelor's degree requirement for teachers in Tennessee and create a 2-year associate's program to turn out more educators in the state. J.C. Bowman with Professional Educators of Tennessee says the move would be unprecedented.
I've been doing this for 40 years. I've never heard anybody that says we need to take a step back and do away with bachelor's degree and go to an associate's. That's the first time I've heard anybody even suggest that.
Bowman estimates the state is down around 2,000 teachers. He agrees something needs to be done to fill the gaps, but says Sexton's approach doesn't address what's actually causing the shortage.
People are leaving teaching not because of the qualifications to get into the field. They're leaving because of the workload and the behavior of students. Those are the 1 and 2.
3, Bowman says, are challenges with the praxis exam. The test prospective teachers are struggling to pass to get certified. Plus, he worries people with associate's degrees wouldn't have the experience or qualifications necessary to teach in public schools.
In Tennessee, it is now possible to graduate high school with an AA degree. So is he saying that a kid that just graduates high school with an AA degree would be capable of going into our public schools and teaching? And I think that's something that people will take a hard look at and say no.
But Sexton says careers like nursing have a similar structure with licensed practical nurses, registered nurses, and nurse practitioners. He believes it could help get more teachers into classrooms that need them the most, helping with the shortage, knowing educators would likely go back for their bachelor's.
I did like the fact that he said it was a discussion that we need to have. Okay, check. We had the discussion. Let's move back and really solve the problem.
Speaker Sexton's office just sent us the following statement. It says, quote, an associate's degree pathway would let more people enter teaching, stay close to home, graduate debt-free, and focus on early education bachelor's degrees, certify K through 12. While an associate's could cover K through 6, which would help fill elementary classrooms with a highly specialized teacher, many teachers already pursue advanced degrees while working, and associate's degree teachers would likely continue toward a bachelor's while gaining classroom experience.
So to come, a plea for pumpkins for pigs.
How you can help a local organization feed hungry pigs with your old pumpkins. That's next.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
News Nation and Decision Desk HQ out in front.
Accurate election results, faster than the other networks.
News Nation once again has called it first.
The difference is DDHQ. Coverage begins tonight at 7/6 Central on News Nation.
Behind every breaking news headline, there are lives affected. Help urgently needed. News 2 is there, first to report and keep you informed every step of the way. News 2, Middle Tennessee's breaking news leader.
Pumpkins to get rid of after Halloween? Well, there's someone who will likely enjoy them a lot more than your trash can will.
Yeah, you can drop your porch pumpkins off in a Nashville business to be repurposed as pig food. News 2 Sophia Radebaugh tells us how this works in today's neighborhood news in Woodford, Houston. Sophia.
Hey ladies, well, who knew pigs love pumpkins? Pumpkin ambassador for the Flying Pig Sanctuary, Marla Torres, says it's one of their favorite snacks and you can be a part of giving them a healthy treat this fall. Now, the Flying Pig Sanctuary is in Grandview, Tennessee, about 2 hours east of Nashville. It's a place for animals to heal who have experienced abuse or neglect. But the sanctuary is collecting pumpkins here in Nashville, right in front of the Hoop House on Wedgwood Avenue. This program has been going on for years, and the sanctuary tells us the pumpkins they get this month will feed their pigs all winter long and even into the springtime. Now, last year they were able to collect 600 pumpkins just out of Nashville, and this year they're hoping for 700.
We've collected probably thousands at this point each year to be able to help, but she has so many pigs and they just, yeah, it's a beautiful opportunity to give back, and the pigs are happy. They love them. They get so excited.
Now, Torres says they're looking for pumpkins that have not been carved or are not painted and that are not rotting as well. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sophia. We want to know what's happening in your neighborhood. Email your neighborhood stories to neighborhoodnews@WKRN.com.
Well, this afternoon we are saluting Zoe Lowry as News 2's Nurse of the Month. She works at Matthew Walker Comprehensive Health Center. Her nominator says this wife and mother is phenomenal and works tirelessly to care for others. And she has a heart for God, her family, her patients, and colleagues. Well, you can nominate someone for News 2's Nurse of the Month honor. Visit WKRN.com/contests.
An accurate and reliable forecast. Here's News 2 Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy.
I feel like we're all reunited. We haven't all worked together
I
on
know.
the floor in like
A while.
I don't know. Yeah,
Everybody's
it
had
feels
some
like a
time
week.
off. It's been nice.
Yes.
And reunited for a beautiful day, too.
Yes, seriously.
Today is a Tuesday. It doesn't feel like it feels great. It feels like it should be Friday.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
The weather's
Good
really
energy
nice.
today.
And we've got good energy coming this week because more sunshine's in the forecast and warmer temperatures, ladies. That's our first weather headline. However, rain and storms are returning on Friday. And yes, we're going to have to watch those storms. Right now, not under any risk for severe weather, but that's not necessarily going to be the case. We will have to see how this forecast shapes up. And then we got a secondary cold front moving in over the weekend. That's going to bring a big cold blast of air next week. So by Monday and Tuesday especially, it's going to feel like wintertime outside. Now today is a gorgeous one. We're in the 70s from, say, Linden to Columbia, Shelbyville to Winchester, and even Murfreesboro. In the 60s up towards Clarksville and Portland. So 60s and 70s, winds are out of the south and west today, and that's why we've warmed up quite a bit. Now, we've got a few high, thin clouds on satellite and radar. The big story is this. High pressure is to our south and east, winds around it going clockwise, and that's why we've got these southerly breezes today. There is a system to our north bringing in a few clouds spilling over into central Kentucky, but that's really about it. For tonight, temperatures will dip down into the upper 40s and low 50s, around 50 in Hopkinsville, 50 in Portland, 53 Lebanon, Nashville around 49, 49 in Lawrenceburg. It'll be cool and clear outside. Now during the day tomorrow, 68 by lunch and then mid-70s by afternoon with mostly sunny skies. The other thing happening tomorrow is we've got our November supermoon. So technically in the morning, it's going to set at 6:22. In fact, it already just rose tonight. Then it is full at 7:19. So you won't see it when it's full until 4:40 when it rises again on Wednesday. And it's the largest, brightest supermoon of 2025. So if you do get any pictures of it, send it to pics@WKRN.com. We would love to see it. Temperatures will stay warm, not only Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday. We should be around 65 this time of year. We'll be in the low to mid 70s. Rain chances returning in a bigger way Friday and Saturday. I want to talk more about that timeline for the storms on Friday, because as we get to lunchtime, showers break out, especially north and west of Nashville, and they fill in by dinner time. So we're going to be watching this line of storms. And then by about 11, 12 o'clock, they're pushing south and east and quickly moving on out of here. So as we get to Saturday, we start to see the clouds clear out a bit and temperatures are still relatively warm. So if you're going to the MTSU football game, you should be good to go with temperatures around 70 at kickoff, 60 by the end. Vandy's also at home at 3 p.m. taking on Auburn. Will be around 70 at kickoff, 59 by the end of that game. And then Austin P is taking on Central Arkansas at 3 o'clock, 68 at kickoff, at 56 by the end of the game. The weekend forecast looks like this: 72 on Saturday. There could be a few showers at night now from that cold front, and that cold front will bring in colder, blusterier air as we head into Sunday. We're only going to be in the 50s for high, so it's going to get real cold. And then next Tuesday, we are forecasting 28 degrees. 20 is the record low set back in 1960. 41 is where we should be. So yes, we're going to not necessarily break a record, but we're probably going to talk about our first hard freeze of the year. Now, our average first freeze is November 1st, so that's going to be coming a little bit after. So, and our earliest first freeze ever was October 2nd, 1984. The latest one was November 29th, 2024. So there you go for Nashville. Let's talk about the Weather Authority 7-day forecast, though, because you'll see that our temperatures stay warm this week. We'll have a lot of sunshine Wednesday, Thursday. Storms roll in on Friday. The wind will start to kick up, too. Then Saturday is dry during the day, but there could be a shower at night, turning colder and blustery for Sunday. And then that big cold blast coming in on Monday. We start at 32 degrees, warm to 46, and then, Tuesday is going to be real cold. Over to you.
Thanks, Danielle. New details on a big development.
How part of Laverne could change as we learn more about the twinning station development. And problems for some working at Border Patrol. How funding changes mean some are still without pay.
Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
You really need to get it.
Get the day's top headlines, breaking news, and weather forecasts straight to your inbox. Go to WKRN.com and sign up for the free News 2 newsletter today.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Best Reviews has an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
The federal government shutdown has affected nearly every government agency. Customs and Border Patrol is no different.
The Trump administration has restored funding to keep officers on the border, but not everyone in the agency is getting paid. Border Patrol's Salvador Rivera has the details.
Initially, when the government shutdown began, Border Patrol agents and CBP officers were not getting paid for their work. That changed a few weeks ago when the White House found a way to come up with the money to pay frontline personnel. But according to CBP, civilian employees with Border Patrol who are not in law enforcement roles are not getting their paychecks and/or have been furloughed. This includes roles such as administration jobs, technical support, training specialists, intelligence officers, cybersecurity, and human resources. A border report source says while their main job of patrolling the border has not been impacted, he did say the people affected by the government shutdown are vital to their operations. We're told those who remain on the job, even though they are not getting paid, are growing frustrated, and some are stressing out about missing mortgage payments. Others are reportedly looking for part-time work to tie them over until the government reopens for business. We reached out to CBP to see how many civilians with the agency are being affected nationwide, but those figures were not readily available. One source said the number in the San Diego sector alone is, quote, in the hundreds. Salvador Rivera, Border Report.
Back here at home, making Nashville streets safer when it comes to scooters.
See how one program is being tested in Nashville with the goal of cutting down on unsafe riding in Music City.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
You really need to get it.
Get the day's top headlines, breaking news, and weather forecasts straight to your inbox. Go to WKRN.com and sign up for the free News 2 newsletter today.
Live, up-to-the-minute coverage. This is News 2 at 4.
A scooter company is testing new technology in Nashville. They want to cut down on unsafe riding, including speeding on sidewalks and 2 people sharing 1 scooter. Welcome back to News 2 at 4. I'm Tori Gessner.
And I'm Kendall Ashman. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry shows us how Spin's new pilot program works and how riders feel about their behavior being monitored. Caitlin.
This is a pilot program from a scooter company called Spin. Nashville's the first city to try it.
We are trying to get from point A to point B a lot faster because there's a lot of walking here.
Scooters and e-bikes have become a go-to way of getting around, but with the fast growth comes safety concerns.
They go really fast and it was very scary.
Things that involve sidewalk riding, parking improperly, these are concerns that continue to come up, right? And we don't want to be blind to that. We want to make sure that we're doing something.
So Spin launched the personalized rider score.
You all know that if you take, for example, a Lyft or an Uber, you get rated after each ride and you actually have a score. It's emulating that same type of idea.
Riders start with 5 stars. The app then tracks rider behavior, including the frequency of sidewalk riding, 2-person scooter riding, entering no-ride zones, helmet usage, instances of abrupt braking or reckless riding, as well as repeated parking violations.
The first step will be when someone has taken at least 2 trips, starting to give them targeted warnings. And again, in that 50-50 profile where 50% of folks will get that, 50% won't, and we're measuring the difference.
If a rider's score drops below 4 stars, they can get warnings, fines, suspensions, or have their account shut down.
You know, if someone's here and visiting and is using this instead of a car trip, we see that as a good thing from less congestion.
This is where the rules start. The scooters log everything from how fast you go to where you leave it when you're done. But the bigger question is how riders feel about being monitored every time they hop on one of these.
Thinking of the money-wise, it's efficient to do 2, but feeling how I felt on the scooter and how fast it was going and how scary it was, honestly, I would never get on with somebody else because that's a lot of trust.
As long as the people use them intelligently
and are aware of the other people. I think everything's good.
So if you do hop on an e-bike or scooter, residents and tourists say safety starts with awareness.
I would just say pay as close attention as possible because people come out of nowhere, cars come out of nowhere.
Know what you're doing and wear a helmet.
Spin plans to collect data for about 3 months and may continue into another season. Tori, Kendall.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. The city of Laverne is moving forward with a major multi-million-dollar development. It's expected to bring more retail, tax revenue, and jobs to the city. News 2's Audrey Mayer tells us more about the Twinning Station and where the project stands now. Audrey.
Kendall, the Twinning Station is a mixed-use development project planned just off the west side of I-24 along Waldron Road in Laverne. The city hopes to have shovels in the ground on this 77-acre project by next spring. New residential and office space, as well as new shops, restaurants, and entertainment options are in the works for this stretch of land in Laverne. Laverne's economic development director says the Twinning Station project will add hundreds of jobs to the area and bring in millions of dollars in tax revenue to the city.
So historically, there's nothing like this ever been done in Laverne, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say this will be one of its kind in Rutherford County. It's upwards of $350 million to $500 million project. It's still evolving. We have had great interest from retailers and businesses that want to be there at this point. It will be something that will be a game changer for Laverne forever.
The area doesn't look like much now, but the site plan has more than 200,000 square feet of retail and dining options planned for the space. City leaders say the Twinning project plans to serve people living in the 11,000 homes built within a 3-mile radius of the site, which spans households in Rutherford, Davidson, and Williamson counties. That surrounding area also happens to have one of the highest median incomes in the region at $110,000.
The city has about $1 billion plus in leakage where our sales tax dollars go outside of the city. This gives that opportunity for our residents to keep their sales tax dollars in the city, which funds our police, our fire, our road improvements. Additionally, where this is located, it's going to pull from Davidson County, from Williamson County, from other areas to reverse that leakage and bring those dollars into our city.
Laverne Mayor Jason Cole says the city has approved and funded widening Waldron Road from I-24 to the city line to accommodate increased traffic. They're also looking to add a new road at Blair and Waldron and setting aside land for a future fire station and EMS bay. And Mayor Cole says if everything goes as planned, the project should be finished by 2030 or 2031. Tori.
Thanks, Audrey. Let's head outside now and take a live look over Clarksville this afternoon. Beautiful sunset earlier this morning. A lot of us saw some fog. I know I did. We've got some warmer temps coming up this week. Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy here with the forecast. Danielle.
All right, and you see that sunshine off in the distance and that sunset. You also see the moon up there as well. So that's going to be our super moon coming tomorrow. Temperatures right now are in the 60s in Franklin, 68, 69 in Goodlettsville, 70 Laverne, and 67 in Portland. We've got wind gusts up to about 10 to 14 miles an hour out of the south and west. They're going to back down later tonight, but they're all due to high pressure. We've just got a few high thin clouds streaming in. Otherwise, most of us are clear and dry. There's the high pressure center to our south and east. Winds around it going clockwise, and that's why we got those southerly breezes. Now, our sunset time tonight is coming just under about 10 minutes or so. By Thanksgiving, it's 4:33, and then by Christmas Day, we go back up to 4:40 in the afternoon. For tonight, temperatures drop to 52 in McMinnville, 51 Murfreesboro, 50 in Dixon. Waverly, you'll see 48 degrees and 52 in Bowling Green. So we start the day off cool, but not as cold as previous nights with a good deal of sunshine. There could be some clouds out there by lunchtime as we warm into the upper 60s. And then by afternoon, we are warming up to 74 degrees. Not going to set a record, but we should be around the 60s this time of year, mid-60s that is, so we are running above average. We are going to stay above average not only Wednesday, but also Thursday and even into Friday. Friday, though, rain and storms are returning to the forecast and may linger into Saturday. Right now, it doesn't look like severe weather. However, we'll talk more about the timing and just how cold we get behind the system coming up.
Already a team traffic alert for us on this Tuesday afternoon. Happy Tuesday, everyone. The story of the day has been disabled vehicles. So luckily, no crashes that have caused a lot of problems, but this is the 5th disabled vehicle that I have seen on a TDOT camera just this afternoon. So this is in the West Nashville area, I-40 east of Jefferson Street. You can see it's a semi truck and a TDOT truck and a police car are on the scene at the moment. So hopefully they'll be able to get this cleared off as soon as possible. People are doing the right thing. Most people are doing the right thing and heading over to that left-hand lane, trying to steer clear of this situation. So if you come up on this on your commute home, just be extra careful this evening. All right, if you're going to B&A, you might want to leave a little bit earlier than planned. Things are really stop and go here on I-40. This is the eastbound side of the interstate. Just a lot of cars there on the road. So again, if you're headed to the airport, leave earlier than you had planned. Here's a look at the Goodlettsville area, I-65 South Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. Southbound side looking good, northbound not so much. Let's get you home safely on this Tuesday. Nashville to Murfreesboro, an hour and 15 to Spring Hill, an hour and 7 minutes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Sophia. Today marks the nation's first major election day since President Trump returned to the White House, and his leadership and policies have dominated the debate in almost every race. Voters are electing governors in Virginia and New Jersey. New York City is picking a mayor. And in California, voters are deciding if the state's congressional districts should be redrawn. Rena Roy has the details on all of today's races across the U.S.
All eyes on New York City today, with voters hitting the polls for a historic mayoral race.
I think this vote, even though it's a local election, have major impacts on how the two major parties have control across the country.
Self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani leading the polls, the 34-year-old focusing his campaign on affordability.
It is time now for a new day in our politics.
Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo running as an independent and now endorsed by President Trump, despite a tumultuous history between the two.
He's not endorsing me. He's opposing Mamdani.
Guardian Angels founder Republican Curtis Sliwa also running.
My campaign has stood in stark contrast to Andrew Cuomo, the candidate of the billionaires, the influencers, the insiders.
The cost of living also a focus for the bitter race for governor of New Jersey. Republican Jack Ciattarelli campaigning on lowering taxes.
The future of our state hangs in the balance. Look at your property tax bill. If you're a tenant, look at your monthly rent. Look at your electricity bill.
Democrat Mikey Sherrill saying she would declare a state of emergency to freeze utility rate hikes.
I've told people in my state, look, if it's keeping you up at night as your governor, it's going to keep me up at night.
In Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanberger running for governor against Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears, both discussing issues such as energy, education, and immigration on the trail. The winner will be the Commonwealth's first female governor. In California, it's all about Prop 50, a ballot measure that would allow the state's congressional map to be redrawn, potentially giving Democrats new pickup opportunities.
Now back here in New York City, if Mamdani is elected, he would be the city's first Muslim and South Asian mayor. And his identity has come up during his campaign, with Mamdani and his supporters accusing his rivals of making anti-Islamic comments. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Some important dates for deer hunters in Tennessee. Muzzleloader season starts this Saturday and runs through November 21st. Statewide gun season for deer starts the day after on November 22nd, going through January 4th. We'll go to the TWRA app for more information on deer season, including bag limits, locations to buy hunting and fishing licenses, and more.
Franklin firefighters are launching their 18th annual toy and clothing drive. You can stop by any Franklin Fire Station, Franklin Fire Headquarters, or the Macy's in the Cool Springs Galleria and get a gift request card from the holiday fire hydrant display. Bring your unwrapped gift back to the fire station by December 1st. Since 2008, Franklin Fire says the drive has helped thousands of local families by providing coats, clothes, shoes, and toys to kids in need.
So to come discussing the state budget.
See what state officials plan to do with money, which they say can help make your experience at driver services centers less of a headache. Plus, it's trade deadline day in the NFL. Is Jeffrey still a Titan? We've got the answer. That's next in sports.
There's nothing more precious than your time. That's why News 2 Now at 10 gives you tomorrow's forecast up front, so you have more time for the precious things in your life. Tomorrow's forecast and the top stories in the first 5 minutes. Watch News 2 Now at 10.
Best Reviews has an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Tonight on Channel 2 at 7, it's a 2-hour Dancing with the Stars. At 9, watch Step into the Movies with Derek and Julianne Hough. Then join us for your latest local headlines on News 2 Now at 10. Danielle Breezy will have your forecast in the first 5 minutes of the newscast. The Titans are only halfway through the season, but today the team was already looking to the future.
The entire league was, with the trade deadline expiring earlier this afternoon. Corey Curtis is here to show us what the Titans got done. Corey.
All right, well, the NFL trade deadline came and went just about an hour and a half ago, and it turned out the Titans fire sale ended yesterday. They made 3 trades before the deadline, the last one sending edge rusher Draymond Jones to the Ravens for a conditional 5th-round pick. Now, Jones has been on fire for the Titans with sacks in 4 straight games. He was on a 1-year deal, though, and they get a pick instead of just letting him walk at the end of the season. Now, the Titans traded away 3 defensive starters and got back 1 draft pick total. Jarvis Brownlee went first in a pick swap of a 7th for a 6th. Then it was Roger McCreary last week, trading a 6th for a 5th-round pick, and then yesterday, Jones fetched a conditional 5th-round draft choice. Now, President of Football Operations Chad Brinker said they want 30 picks in the next 3 years. Right now, they're sitting on 23. The Titans have 9 picks in next year's draft, 5 of them in the 5th and 6th rounds. But that could change if the Ravens pick becomes a 4th. The Ravens reportedly need to make the playoffs, and Jones needs 2 sacks to make that happen. As expected, though, Titans, they did not trade Jeffrey Simmons, but it's hard to imagine they didn't have offers because today the Jets traded this guy, the big defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, to the Cowboys for a 1st and a 2nd-round pick.
An accurate and reliable forecast. Here's News 2 Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy.
Get ready. A warm-up is on the way as we head into your Wednesday. Really, for the remainder of the week, we're going to be well into the 70s, mid-70s tomorrow, low to mid-70s Thursday and Friday. But then rain and storms return on Friday. Does not look like anything severe right now, but again, we're watching that forecast because it could all change. Definitely going to have some storms in here on Friday for sure. And then a secondary cold front moves through on Saturday night into Sunday. And that brings in a big blast of cold air. And so it will feel more like wintertime out there as we start next week. Now, temperatures have settled back into the 60s, 63 in McMinnville, 66 Murfreesboro, Dixon's at 69, 68 in Clarksville. And Nashville's at 69 degrees. We have some wind pumping out of the south at about 10 to about 15 miles an hour, but they are going to back down tonight. Just some high thin clouds trying to roll in here as you look at satellite and radar. But high pressure is in control of our weather to our south and east, so that's leading to a good deal of sunshine today. There is a system to our north. It will stay to our north, so we will stay dry. Temperatures won't be as cold as the previous couple of nights, but still going to fall into the 40s and low 50s. See 53 in Lebanon, 49 Nashville, 50 Dixon, 50 in Paris, 51 Linden, and 52 up in Bowling Green. Now tomorrow starts cool, but then 68 by lunch, and then by afternoon we are in the mid 70s with mostly sunny skies. Tomorrow is also the November supermoon, also known as the full beaver moon. Now it is full at 7:19 in the morning, but it sets at 6:22, so you won't see it when it's officially full. You'll then see it at 4:40 in the afternoon as it rises back up. It is the largest and brightest supermoon of 2025. So if you do get any pictures, send it our way, pics@WKRN.com, or me, Danielle Breezy TV, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Temperatures will be in the 70s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday, which is above average. We should be around 65 degrees this time of year, but rain chances are going to be ramping up on Friday, especially in the afternoon and evening, and may linger into early Saturday, and even Saturday night now. There could be a few showers from that cold front. So by 12:30, 1 o'clock, you see on Friday, showers are north and west of Nashville. And they come rolling in, the storms that is 5 and 6, and then 6 to about 8, 9 o'clock. By about midnight, most of the activity is going to be east and south and pushing on out of here, which will lead to a drier Saturday on tap, at least during the day. But at night, more rain could fill back in. Now, we got a lot of college football going on. MTSU is at home at 2 o'clock on Saturday as they take on FIU. 70 at kickoff, 60 by the end of the game. Vandy is taking on Auburn at home at 3 p.m. 70 at kickoff, 59 by the end, partly sunny skies and still pretty mild. And Austin P is at home at 3 o'clock. Kickoff time 68, 56 by the end of the game. And then we will see that chance for some rain at night again on Saturday from a cold front, and that turns us cold and blustery for Sunday. I mean, we're going to be in the 50s for highs, but those winds will be gusting quite a bit, so it'll make it feel colder than it is. And then we're talking about really cold Monday and Tuesday on tap. In fact, next Tuesday, right now we're forecasting 28 for the low. 20 is that record low set back in 1960, and 41 is where we should be. So not that far away from record lows. And probably our first freeze will happen Tuesday morning, if not Monday. Our average first freeze is November 1st, so this is coming later than average. Our earliest first freeze ever in Nashville is October 2nd, 1984, and the latest one was November 29th, 2024. So we'll watch that carefully for you. Your Weather Authority 7-day forecast, you got to think about your plants, especially next week, and also the pets. It's going to be sunny and dry Wednesday, Thursday with storms and breezy conditions Friday. Over the weekend, you know, Saturday is the warmer day, Sunday is the colder, blustery day, and for the 50s for highs. And then the big cold blast comes in on Monday. And by Tuesday, we're talking about a freeze for everybody with temperatures beginning in the 20s. Over to you.
Thanks, Danielle. Well, some small business owners say tariffs are putting the bah humbug in the holidays.
And see how Christmas shops are having to navigate international trade agreements to stock up on ornaments and holiday decorations. That's next on News 2 at 4.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
You really need to get it.
Get the day's top headlines, breaking news, and weather forecast straight to your inbox. Go to WKRN.com and sign up for the free News 2 newsletter today.
Ooh, pretty colors.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Tracking the economy, it may be hard to believe, but we are 51 days away from Christmas. And if you started to pick up an ornament or decorations to get ready, you've noticed the cost has probably gone up.
Blake Bortz from our sister station in Green Bay, Wisconsin, went to a Christmas store that's having to get creative to make sure the holiday spirit is affordable.
If the tariff was incurred on them, then we also incurred. I will say that some of our vendors were very, very transparent in what the price was when we ordered it in January and how that tariff had impacted it. And I really appreciated that because we're all in this together.
Megan Yeska begins preparing to fill her store with decorations in January, going to vendors across the U.S., and says even the vendors didn't know how the tariffs would impact their inventory.
They didn't always know themselves, our vendors, what the tariffs and all that would bring. And so we were really depending on their expertise as much as we could and our experience that we know what our clientele at Whispering Pines is really looking for. They're looking for those unique ornaments and gifts. And so we might have been a little more strategic in that.
Picking out a Christmas tree is yet another cost to consider this holiday season, and those at Whispering Pines say shopping local could save families some money.
Our Christmas trees, the pricing reflects what we put into the Christmas trees. And what is really nice for us as a small business is we get to choose that. We get to really look at the numbers and crunch the numbers and see, what's the best that we can do. And there's no one else telling us what we need to do. And so as a small business, that really is a perk that we're appreciative of.
Despite all of these obstacles, Whispering Pines is looking to have another successful holiday season and hoping to continue to bring smiles and joy to their customers.
This year is no different. We want people to come to Whispering Pines knowing they're going to have a great experience, whether they come with family or friends or that they know what to expect.
So to come on News 2 at 5, allegations of corruption and sexual misconduct in Mount Juliet. We dive into the newly released documents.
Plus, we take you to a home burglary caught on camera in Lebanon.
And a new report shows Tennessee is in desperate need of a driver services overhaul. All that and more coming up on News 2 at 5.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready! We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Ooh, pretty colors.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
There's nothing more precious than your time. That's why News 2 Now at 10 gives you tomorrow's forecast up front, so you have more time for the precious things in your life. Tomorrow's forecast and the top stories in the first 5 minutes. Watch News 2 Now at 10.
A new study says penguins are being threatened by climate change.
It shows all 18 species in the southern hemisphere are vulnerable to the changing planet. Emperor penguins are some of these most in danger as temperatures increase. Their populations are already declining. The study suggests that adjusting tourism and fishing policies could help.
That does it for News 2 at 4. News 2 at 5 with Haley and Bob starts now.
Thank you, ladies. We do begin with breaking news right now. This is now a live look over Louisville, where the plane has just crashed near the Louisville airport. A massive plume of smoke is filling the sky. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says he is aware of the crash and multiple agencies are currently responding. We're working to learn more about the crash. We'll let you know as soon as we learn more. Tonight, new details in a growing Mount Juliet scandal involving alleged ethics violations, sexual misconduct, and improper use of city equipment. Multiple employees were fired. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Bilgis. News 2's Lexi Wilson breaks down the documents just into the newsroom.
Ever since 2 employees in Mount Juliet's IT department were let go, including Director Travis Taylor, there have been calls for transparency.
What's happening? 2 people have been fired. Department heads have been fired. People want to know.
Now, new records show why the city took action. On September 29th, the Mount Juliet Police Department received an anonymous crime tip alleging Taylor had been selling old city-issued cell phones for personal gain. The complaint also claimed he was involved in an inappropriate sexual relationship during work hours. As for the other IT worker, River Johnson, documents show he had partnered with Taylor in the alleged scheme to sell old city phones for profit. Johnson is also accused of trying to cover up the transaction and engaging in inappropriate sexual relationships while on the job. Both employees were terminated following the investigation. Now city officials wait for the TBI investigation to wrap.
Everybody's innocent till proven guilty, but I want to see a copy of that report.
Reporting in Mount Juliet, Lexi Wilson, News.
Tracking crime now, Lebanon police need help finding these suspects. This is video of a home burglary that happened on Halloween. Police say this happened in the Five Oaks neighborhood just before 8 that night. You can see the suspects walking inside the home with flashlights. If you know anything about this break-in, call Lebanon police. A murder suspect arrested in Franklin after a traffic stop. 34-year-old Xavier Ellison was stopped by police along I-65 South. When officers ran his information, they discovered he was wanted for double murder out of Nashville. Take a look at the video of a scene at a Hermitage apartment last year. Metro says that 2 teens were killed in a targeted attack. Ellison now faces murder charges and was booked on a $200,000 bond.
A Sumner County food pantry is feeling the uncertainty surrounding food stamps as the White House offers conflicting information on funding. Earlier today, President Trump announced that food stamp benefits would only resume when the federal government ends the shutdown. But the administration says it will still provide partial payments. Nevertheless, pressure is mounting on local food banks to help their communities. In Portland, Hands of Hope Food Pantry has seen an influx of new faces coming in as their resources fly off the shelves.
We have not been able to keep back stock because we are keeping the shelves full. Our volunteers are working more than overtime in order to make everything run smoothly. We just have to learn how to pivot. We definitely think everything is a learning opportunity. And so although we don't like the things that are going on right now, there are challenges that can be overcome, and we will work together to find a solution.
Now, since November the 1st, the Portland Pantry saw 30 new families use their store. This morning, Governor Bill Lee said the state would allocate $5 million in new funding to local food banks. That equates to about $7 per person on food stamps in Tennessee. State officials are asking for money to help make your experience at the driver service centers less of a headache.
News 2's Nikki McGee explains how the Department of Safety and Homeland Security plans to address several issues. Nikki.
Well, Haley, the state has run into several issues when it comes to their internet connection recently at Driver Services Center. And the issue has gotten so bad it's actually stopped operations in the past. Now DHS officials are requesting $728,000 to bring their bandwidth up to speed. Also, despite introducing kiosks, DHS is pushing to hire more staff. They say automation wasn't enough to help manage the influx of people they saw, especially during Real ID's surge.
We've had centers that actually shut down during the day because they don't have enough bandwidth of internet to carry the system and to issue driver's license across the state. And it shuts down, it stops all the traffic. in those centers. So we're trying to increase the amount of that so we have a better system.
Now, in addition, the department also made a more than $5 million request to help raise money for driver services employees. The department has also seen shortages, especially in Memphis, where they currently have a turnover rate of 21%.
Nikki, thank you. The downtown Murfreesboro Keystone project could be approved in full this month. The city has already voted on the plan, but now the county will have its say. The three-part development will add multifamily housing, retail space, condos, and even a hotel. The project will also add traffic improvements, including road widening and signal installation. In a podcast with Murfreesboro, the city manager says this project, along with the Town Creek Daylight, are putting Murfreesboro in the perfect place for an economic boom.
Activity breeds activity. So if we can get Town Creek going and then get that pedestrian bridge between Town Creek and the Keystone project, and once the Keystone project creates more momentum, hopefully we're off to the races and everybody's just clamoring to get downtown.
If that plan is approved at the Rutherford Commission meeting next week, demolition could start as soon as next summer. Construction for the homes and condos will then start in 2027. The hotel is planned for 2029.
The Metro Council is set to discuss a number of proposed new housing rules meant to add density to the city. A recent study showed Nashville will be short 20,000 housing units by 2034. The legislation being considered would create new zoning designations, allowing for more detached units and creating incentives for affordable housing. Residents can give their views during a public hearing tonight. That council meeting begins at 6:30. It was a frosty morning across much of Middle Tennessee and in southern Kentucky. This is Gray County, Kentucky, where residents used ice scrapers on their car windshields. More frost on the way as we head into the winterest time of year. But for this week here in Middle Tennessee, it's going to warm up a little bit, Danielle.
Yeah, that's a big story, Bob. We're warming up into the mid-70s as we head into the day tomorrow. Now, as you look over our premier heating and air camera over I-40, you also see the moon has rose now, and it is the super moon that is coming our way. It's also called the full beaver moon. This is our Mount Juliet camera. We're at 66 degrees. The sun is now set, unfortunately, so temperatures will start to drop. Still 69 in Smyrna, 65 Bellevue, 64 in Hendersonville, and 63 in Springfield. Winds are out of the south, pumping at about 10 to 12 to 15 miles an hour. Just some high, thin clouds streaming in this evening. The big story is high pressure is in control of our weather to our south and east, so keeping us warm and clear as we head into tonight. Temperatures will not be as cold tonight. We're going to drop into the upper 40s and low 50s when you wake up tomorrow morning. Now, once we get past that, we'll see partly to mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the upper 60s by lunch. And then by afternoon, we're up to 74 degrees. So it is definitely going to be warmer tomorrow afternoon. But rain and storm chances back in the forecast, and then a big time cool down. We'll talk all about that timeline coming up.
We'll see in a bit. Thank you, Danielle. The Speaker of the Tennessee House is behind a plan designed to improve the state's teacher shortage by removing a bachelor's degree requirement. Speaker Cameron Sexton says a new 2-year associate's education program could churn out teachers faster. He compares it to nursing, which includes licensed practical nurses, registered nurses, and nurse practitioners. Some educators worry dropping the bachelor's degree requirement would lower education standards and wouldn't address the real cause of the teacher shortage.
People are leaving teaching not because of the qualifications to get into the field. They're leaving because of the workload and the behavior of students. Those are the 1 and 2. The workload is too demanding. Teachers are saying, look, I can do better things. And what we turn teaching into is not a career anymore, but it's a transitional path that they come in, do 3 to 5 years, and leave.
Educators would also like the state to reimburse college tuition for teachers and make changes to the teacher certification exam. Speaker Sexton says his plan would have teachers with these special associate degrees fill elementary classrooms. To see his whole statement, you can go to our website at WKRN.com.
MTSU is leaping into quantum physics with a new research center. The university says it's partnering with the Oak Ridge National Laboratory to make the university a world-class hub for innovation. MTSU has already received $1 million in federal grants for quantum research. The new center says this type of science has the potential to transform national security, energy, research, and even healthcare. It has now been 1 year since Nashville's Choose How You Move transit plan has been put in place, and it's already had some major changes to transit in the city. Millions of dollars have gone toward adding sidewalks and making safer bike and pedestrian paths. You've probably noticed additional signals across Nashville as well. The plan has also added bus routes for students and teachers and even implemented a free bus program for low-income residents. Mayor Freddie O'Connell is expected to have a full update on the plan at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It is time now to get a team traffic alert with Sophia.
Hey there, Haley. Well, it certainly has been a busy afternoon and evening for us on the roadways. There haven't been a lot of crashes to report that have caused a lot of backups, but the big story of the day have been disabled vehicles. Now, this is the 5th disabled vehicle that I have reported on or seen in a TDOT camera just this afternoon into the evening. And so it's getting a little blurry there. Hopefully it'll clear up in just a second. But yeah, you can see the TDOT truck there as well as a police car trying to get this semi truck off of the shoulder on the interstate there on I-40. This is just outside of downtown in the West Nashville area. So also just a lot of congestion there on I-40 in the westbound side. So keep that in mind this evening. Also another situation, it's kind of further down on the camera. The TDOT camera has zoomed out a little bit, but another disabled vehicle here on Briley Parkway. This is in the Inglewood area, so hoping they get that cleared as well. Things are really backed up there on I-40 on the westbound, or excuse me, the eastbound side on the way to the airport. So if you have that evening flight tonight, definitely budget yourself some more time. We're all in red this evening. Nashville to Brentwood, 28 minutes. To Murfreesboro, an hour and 23 minutes. To Mount Juliet, 37 minutes. And to Goodlettsville, 50 minutes. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sophia. Coming up, changes to traffic flow in South Nashville, how council members are attempting to tamp down speeders.
Happening now, live election results.
Nobody covers politics with fairness and respect for all Americans like News Nation.
Crucial races for governor. The heated race for mayor in New York. A controversial proposal in California. Full race results tonight on News Nation. News for all Americans.
Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
You really need to get it. Get the day's top headlines, breaking news, and weather forecast straight to your inbox. Go to WKRN.com and sign up for the free News 2 newsletter today.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
coverage where you live. With Bob Mueller, Haley Wilgus, and Danielle Breezy's hour-by-hour forecast. This is News 2 at 5.
In just a few minutes, NDOT will host a meeting with people living in Glencliff to talk about a proposed traffic calming project.
News 2 Sophia Redabaugh tells us what NDOT is suggesting in tonight's neighborhood news. Sophia.
Hey guys, well, Sabre Drive connects two heavily traveled roads, McCall Street and Wheeler Avenue. It's also right by Wright Middle School, which makes it an even bigger target for a calming project for NDOT. Now, NDOT says residents along Sabre Drive want to slow drivers down. In September, they held a meeting to present their ideas for traffic calming. They suggested speed cushions as well as bulb outs, which are curb extensions along the road. NDOT says they want to hear from the public before they decide on anything, and that's the purpose of the meeting tonight. Neighbors will then get to vote on any proposal, and NDOT needs a 66% favorable vote to move forward on any project. Now, the meeting starts here in a little bit at 5:30 and will be hosted online. You can find the link on Metro's website. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sophia. Clarksville is making a new gas and water board. Clarksville Gas and Water Management Mark Riggins made it clear creating the new board will not increase rates. The new board will take responsibility from the city for wastewater management. The separate gas and water board is designed to help residents who use city services but don't live in the city of Clarksville.
Currently under city council governance, customers whose services are located outside the Clarksville city limits have no representation in gas and water business decisions.
My concern is transparency. How can we make sure that the city council and most importantly our residents stay informed about what's going on with gas and water?
The first vote toward approving the new board takes place Thursday. All meetings of the new board will be open to the public.
Tennessee conservationists are working to keep the Duck River one of the most diverse in the world, and part of that includes reintroducing the pale lilliput mussel. Each of these mussels were born in captivity to be brought to the river. They're each tagged so that TWRA can keep track of them. This type of mussel is one of the only in the world that like to live in the root systems of water willow plants. The pale lilliput is a federally listed endangered species. Mussels are some of the most important species for our waterways because they act like a natural filter system.
An accurate and reliable forecast. Here's News 2 Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy.
Pretty nice, clear, sunny fall day here in Middle Tennessee
today.
Today.
And it's going to get real chilly, but then we're going to warm up. We're getting everything,
We're going
right?
all over the place. Yes, that's what I was saying. Oh, hello.
Yeah,
I mean, and the camera's also all going all over the place. It's having that mindset. It doesn't know where it's going.
It doesn't know, yeah. Exactly.
I will say, the weather, we're going to get warm first, and then a big blast of cold is coming next week, guys, and it's going to feel a lot more like winter. So the warm up is on the way. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s on Wednesday and lower 70s Thursday, Friday, but rain and storms return on Friday. Notice I say storms because I do think we'll have storms now. Doesn't look like anything severe as of yet, but this could all change. So just be prepared to pay attention to the weather on Friday. And then another cold front moves in Saturday. That's going to deliver a big blast of cold air as we head into next week, and it will feel a lot more like winter out there. Temperatures right now are in the 60s, 64 in Nashville, 63 Murfreesboro, 64 in Clarksville, 61 in Portland, and 66 right now in Shelbyville. We've got a little bit of wind out of the south and west, gusting to about 15 miles an hour. And some high thin clouds have streamed in. But again, the big story is high pressure in control of our weather, keeping us dry and clear tonight and then sunny tomorrow. Those winds are pumping out of the south. That's why we warmed up quite a bit today. And it won't be as cold tonight as well. Temperatures will drop into the 50s and 40s. 49 in Winchester, as well as in Lawrenceburg, as well as Nashville. 50 in Portland, though, 50 in Lafayette, and 51 in Jamestown. So during the day tomorrow, we're in the 60s by lunch, mid-70s by afternoon, so it is going to be a warm Wednesday on tap. Now, our November supermoon, also known as the Beaver Moon, it sets at 6:22 tomorrow morning. I mean, tonight it looks pretty big if you look outside, but it's full technically at 7:19 in the morning tomorrow. So as it rises at 4:40 tomorrow afternoon, you will see it. It's the largest, brightest supermoon of 2025. So again, it's because of its orbit closer to the Earth that makes it appear that way. So if you get any pictures, send it to pics@WKRN.com. Temperatures remain in the 70s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so we're above average. We should be around 65 this time of year. And then the rain rolls in on Friday. Now, I do think it doesn't happen until lunchtime or thereafter, but then those storms become a little bit more numerous. By about 12, 1 o'clock, you can see we've got showers and storms north and west of Nashville streaming in. And then for dinner time, that's when I think things will be pretty active. And those rain and storms move to the south and east by about midnight, so it's a very fast-moving system. And then it's on out of here. And we do see some clearing for your Saturday plans, which is some good news. And there's a lot of games to get to here. We've got MTSU at home on Saturday at 2 p.m. Temperatures will be in the 70s, falling back in the 60s by the end of the game. Vandy's taking on Auburn at 3 p.m. Around 70 at kickoff, 59 by the end of that game. And then finally, Austin Peay's at home on Saturday at 3. We'll be in the 60s at kickoff, falling back into the mid-50s by the end. Weekend forecast, again, 72 Saturday, but look at Sunday. It's colder and blusterier. 56 for a high. As we head into next week, it gets even colder than that. So be prepared. Here we go. Weather Authority 7-day forecast. Storms and breezy conditions on Friday. Cold, windy Sunday, and then that big cold blast comes in for Monday. Tuesday, we could be talking about a widespread freeze with temperatures in the 20s. Now I want to show you where I was earlier today. That is the 6th grade at Spring Hill Middle School. Had a great time talking to them all about the weather and my career. And yeah, they were pretty excited and asked a lot of great questions. Over to you.
Thank you, Danielle. A one-of-a-kind project coming to Rutherford County. Up ahead, we detail how this twinning project will bring jobs and opportunity to Laverne.
There's nothing more precious than your time. That's why News 2 Now at 10 gives you tomorrow's forecast up front, so you have more time for the precious things in your life. Tomorrow's forecast and the top stories in the first 5 minutes. Watch News 2 Now at 10.
Ooh, pretty colors. Best Reviews has an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
We are still following this breaking news out of Louisville, Kentucky. This is a live look here from outside the airport where a UPS plane crashed within the last 30 minutes. We don't know how many people were on board, but the FAA says the plane crashed during takeoff. There is a shelter in place in effect for a 5-mile radius around the airport.
The city of Laverne is moving forward with a major multi-million-dollar development.
It is called the Twinning Station and will be built west on I-24. It's expected to bring new residential and office space, as well as some shops, some restaurants, entertainment options, all to Waldron Road. Laverne's economic development director says the project will also add hundreds of jobs to the area and bring in millions of dollars in tax revenue to the city. City leaders say the Twinning project plans to serve people living in the 11,000 homes built within a 3-mile radius of that site, which spans households in Rutherford, Davidson, and Williamson counties.
City has about $1 billion plus in leakage where our sales tax dollars go outside of the city. This gives that opportunity for our residents to keep their sales tax dollars in the city, which funds our police, our fire, our road improvements. Additionally, where this is located, it's going to pull from Davidson County, from Williamson County, from other areas to reverse that leakage and bring those dollars into our city.
The city hopes to have shovels in the ground on this 77-acre project by next spring. Mayor Cole says if everything goes as planned, the project should be finished by 2030 or 2031.
Beautiful Tuesday evening in Middle Tennessee. Take you outside, a live look over Murfreesboro in Rutherford County as the sun begins to set.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Food, fashion, and fun. It's what Local on 2 is all about.
And music, too. I'm Joe Breezy from Mix 92.9. Catch me on air weekdays 4 to 7 and on Local on 2.
It's your afternoon pick-me-up. Watch Local on 2 at 2 on 2.
Coming up in just a few minutes on WKRN Plus, join Danielle Breezy for Weather Authority Live from 5:30 to 6. She'll be talking about the first taste of winter coming up next week. You can download the WKRN Plus app through Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.
Talking about some chilly conditions next week.
And it's still fall.
That will do it for News 2 at 5. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tonight on News 2 at 6.